The way people do when they are saying goodbye at airports. "Keep the faith," said Brett. And in response to my blank look, he added, "I'm not talking about timetables or statistics or training manuals. Faith. It's not in here." He tapped his forehead. "It's in here." Gently, he thumped his heart with a flattened palm, so that the signet ring glittered on his beautifully manicured hand, and a gold watch peeped out from behind a starched linen cuff. "Yes, I see. Not a headache. More like indigestion," I said. Fiona watched us and smiled. "They're calling the flight," said Brett. "Take care, darling," she said. I took Fiona in my arms and we kissed decorously. But then I felt a sudden pain as she bit my lip. I gave a little yelp and stepped back from her. She smiled again. Brett looked anxiously from me to Fiona and then back at me again, trying to decide whether he should smile or say something. I rubbed my lip. Brett concluded that perhaps it was none of his business after all, and from his raincoat pocket he brought a shiny red paper bag and gave it to me. It was secured with matching ribbon tied in a fancy gift-wrap bow. The package was slightly limp, like a paperback book. "Read that," said Brett, picking up my carry-on bag and shepherding me towards the gate where the other passengers were standing in line. It seemed as if it would be a full load today. There were women with crying babies and long-haired kids with earrings, well-used backpacks, and the sort of embroidered jackets that you can buy in Nepal. Fiona followed, observing the people crowding round us with that detached amusement with which she cruised through life. With one phone call, Brett could have arranged for us to use any of the VIP lounges on the airport, but the department's guidelines said that agents travelling on duty kept to a low profile. And so that's what Brett did. That's why he'd left his driver behind at the house and taken the wheel of the Accord. Like other Americans before him, he had exaggerated respect for what the people in London thought was the right way to do things. We reached the gate. I couldn't go through until he handed over my carry-on bag. "Maybe all this hurry from London will work out for the best, Bernard. Your few days chasing around East Germany will give Fiona a chance to get your London apartment ready. She wants to do that for you. She wants to settle down and start all over again." He looked at her and waited until she nodded agreement. Only Brett would have the chutzpah to explain my wife to me while she was standing beside him. "Yes, Brett," I said. There was no sense in telling him he was out of line. Another few minutes, and I'd be rid of him forever. "And don't go chasing after Werner Volkmann." "No," I said. "Don't give me that glib no of course not routine. I mean it. Whatever Werner did to them, London Central hate him with a passion beyond compare." "Yes, you told me that." "You can't afford to step out of line, Bernard. If someone spots you having a cup of coffee with your old buddy Werner, everyone in London will be saying you are part of a conspiracy or something. God knows what he did to them, but they hate him." "I wouldn't know where to find him," I said. "That's never stopped you before." Brett paused and looked at his watch. "Be a model employee. Put your faith in the department, Bernard. Swallow your pride and tug your forelock. Now that London Central's funds are being so severely cut, they're looking for an excuse to fire people instead of retire them. No one's job is safe." "I've got it all, Brett," I said, and tried to prise my bag away from him. He smiled and moistened his lips as if trying to resist giving me any more advice and reminders. "I hear Tante Liesel has had a checkup. If she's going to have a hip replacement or whatever it is, trying to save a few bucks on it is dumb." That was his way of saying that he'd pay for old Frau Hennig's doctor's bills. I knew Brett well. We'd had our ups and downs, especially when I thought he was chasing Fiona, but I'd got to know him better during my long stay in California. As far as I could tell, Brett wasn't a double-crosser.